This is the most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Sup, fams? Welcome to my Star Wars marathon review where I review all 9 original films plus 2 special films. And today we're gonna finally cover the original trilogy with Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Coming up right now, and hope you guys enjoy the show. Alright, quiet on set. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, or known as Star Wars, was released in 1977, is written and directed by George Lucas, stars Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, Peter Cushing, David Prowse, and James Earl Jones voices Darth Vader and Alec Guinness. So for this video, I'm actually going to cover the theatrical edition. Will talk about the special edition some other time. I will not, as I'm reviewing these movies, I'm not going to be talking about the special editions. Actually, I'm going to create a series of films and stuff like film talks about that, film buzz or whatever. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the story. So the story is about a young princess named Princess Leia is being attacked by the Empire since they stolen the plans to the Death Star, a secret weapon of mass destruction to kill other planets. And 2 droids who escape the attack, one are C-3PO and R2-D2, they crash land into Tatooine where they meet a farm boy named Luke Skywalker, and then they are on a mission to look for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then so they meet up with Obi-Wan Kenobi, or known as Ben Kenobi, and then they meet Han Solo and Chewbacca, and then they venture off to save the princess from the Empire. And well, in the meantime, they're on a quest to get the Death Star plans to the rebellion. So yeah, that is the plot. I actually have a very fond memory. Actually, A New Hope was the first film I've ever seen of Star Wars, is because my cousin let my dad borrow the 1995 Faces VHS tape. So yeah, I saw the theatricals before the special editions. And yeah, all I remember was the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting, which is pretty cool. Well, yeah, not much I can say for these. I don't have. As much as I have a lot to say, I don't really have much to add to the original trilogy because it's been talked to death. So what is new that they're talking about? Well, let's just see. And be prepared, spoilers. Spoiler alert. So let's just get some of the things that I don't like. It's, well, of course, Luke can be kind of whiny. Some of the costume effects look pretty nice, but they haven't aged that well because they look like costumes. The story, while it's simple, is really nice, but then again, it is unoriginal. Like Star Wars, it's pretty unoriginal in my opinion because it borrows a lot of films of Akira Kurosawa's, and it's basically it's Hidden Fortress but in space. But it's not really that bad. It's not as bad as, in my opinion, Avatar, which is Pocahontas in space. But yeah, but still, I'm not saying that it's, you know, completely unoriginal. It's original in its own right, but it's pretty unoriginal, if that makes any sense. So now let's get out what I really like. Of course, the acting is pretty good, even though it can be stiff sometimes because George Lucas, again, is not that great of a director sometimes, but he's, you know, at the time, a very good storyteller. And Mark Hamill brings a good performance. Carrie Fisher does amazing performance. Harrison Ford brings a great performance, and Alec Guinness is a great performance, and also David Pratt, and also Peter Cushing is amazing. He steals the show when it comes to the villains. Continue with the operation. You may fire when ready. Trash ass British accent that I have. And Darth Vader is pretty badass. I love when you first see Darth Vader. He's just like, all these stormtroopers look so white, but then he comes in, he's just all black, and he's just a menacing, he just gives a menacing presence. It's just awesome. The special effects are pretty good. And again, before the special editions were replaced, this practical clips with CGI, I love the original special effects. Like, you can tell they're models sometimes, but they look really good. Like the space battle scene in Battle of Yavin, Yavin 4 is amazing. The Death Star fight is phenomenal. I actually prefer it over the special edition battle. The score is amazing. The film is nothing without its film score by John Williams. It's amazing. And yeah, and it has this nice grand adventure scale, even though, yeah, George Lucas calls it the most expensive low budget film, but it has this amazing grand scale. The cinematography is gorgeous. But yeah, I also just love how there was like a mythology behind this whole movie. Because when Star Wars first came out, people have never seen something like that before. It came out during a time of Vietnam War, and everybody just have had it with war. And it's also a nice message about being anti-war, about nuclear bombs. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but the mythology, I just love how the film just talks about the Clone Wars, like like I discussed in the prequels. It talks about there was a previous war that happened. That's why everything has gone to shit when the Empire took over. And yeah, and it's great. I love it. But and also, even though I also like the pacing. It can be slow sometimes, but I really love it because the action just makes up for it. It just keeps you engaged. And also, I just love how it's one of the first few films to introduce a strong female character. Even though, yeah, Hidden Fortress did it first, pretty much. Princess Leia was amazing. She seemed like, oh, damsel in distress, whatever. But then later, she just shows that she can hold on her own, which is amazing. I've never seen like that before. And not many American audiences have seen that before, which is awesome. But yeah, it's a classic. It can be overrated at some points, but still, I love it. It's a classic. I grew up with that film and I still watch it to this very day. I always pop it in now and then. Well, when it comes to the original theatrical cut. So yeah, the current Disney Plus version and the 4K version, as much as it's better than previous special editions, I don't know, man. I prefer the theatrical cut. Hopefully someday we'll get those someday. I actually am predicting in 2 years we might get them. But there's really not much I can say. I mean, I know I'm pretty vague with this review, but still, not much I can say. The performances are really good. The action is great. I love how I just love it. Oh yeah, also how like there's a mix between many different genres. Like there's Western, there's samurai, especially with it's kind of like an opera too. It's like a soap opera too, or like a telenovela, whatever. And also, I also like, even though it's a space film, it looks like it takes place in the future, it's very dirty and lifelike, and it is realistic, very, very cool. So yeah, that is actually just my thoughts on Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Not much I can add. It's a classic and it's a very fun film. It's a film that's what you want in a movie. It's got great action, great acting, and great music, and it's just amazing. I love it. Great story and great special effects. It's awesome. So if I were to rate Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope, of course I'd give it a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. It is a masterpiece in my opinion. So yeah, that is it for today. So that is my video for Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. If you like this video, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share with your friends. And also make sure you guys hit that bell for notifications. So this is Javi from Javi Productions signing off. And stay tuned for next time. We'll be talking about Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And may the Force be with you, always.